Welcome to Chrisley Confessions 2.0. How are you today?
Good.
Good. So what's going on in the life of Julie Chrisley? Other than, folks, she's working out.
Now, let's don't get carried away. No. I went with you to work out, and I am starting slowly. But I'm not going to work out when you work out because I don't want to do that.
Why?
I just don't. I guarantee you, people on here will tell you if they work out, they do not work out with their partners.
But why do you not want to?
Because you aggravate me.
Well, and you give me a lot of enjoyment. I mean, to where I can't aggravate you.
Well, that's not what it's about. Providing you with enjoyment.
We should have fun regardless of what it is that we're doing.
That's fine, but no, I don't want to do that. I first of all, I don't love to work out. But I'm going to, we've talked about it on the podcast, talked about it with Savannah. I'm going to partner between my good girl peptides, a somewhat better diet and exercise.
Well, you have to work with your diet because, my blood work just came back and it was better than yours.
Not necessarily. My blood work was really good. So, folks, before we're starting on this peptide journey, me with Good Girl, and we're doing some other things as well. We wanted to get like a baseline,
right?
Because I feel like there's so much information out there. Well, you need to be taking this, you need to be taking that, not really knowing what our body needs.
Right.
So we went last week and had
through a doctor in Texas.
Yes, it's through a doctor in Texas, but he sent the whatever they need here, and our doctor did the orders. I had 11 tubes of blood. 11. Thank God the girl that did mine, she's so good. I didn't even feel it, but it was a lot.
I know because I had 13 tubes.
But I do think it was the smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
So that we know, like, okay, this is what your body is deficient in. This is what you need. Not just taking it because somebody on the internet says I need to take it. Because you're kind of bad about that. You'll see something on the Instagram and you'll be like, oh, go get me this. We need to be taking this. We need this. I said, no. We don't know that we need that.
Folks, I'm so bad about Instagram. Savannah has gotten on to me for years. You and her both saying, oh my God, he's back on Instagram.
He is like, he should be the poster child for the internet shopper, for the Instagram shopper, because he will see order me this. Well, what do you need it for? Well, they said it was good. Okay. Just because somebody says it's good, it works for them.
And the sad thing about
it's all marketing.
Is that I forward these posts over to her Instagram and say, order me this, please. And then she don't order half the stuff that I tell her to order.
No, because he
and
forgets
I forget about it.
Because I know if it's something that he needs, I will order it. But 99% of the time, it's not something he needs. It's just some gimmick that he's seen on there. And he's like, order me this. We need to start doing this. And he goes in this, we need to start juicing, or we need to start eating this, or we need to start doing this.
And we are doing the juices.
Yeah, we are doing that.
You and Savannah.
Yeah.
You drug me to Costco, folks. I don't like to go to these places. I really don't. And
listen, we left the gym. It was literally a mile away from the gym. So I said, Todd, let's just go into Costco. Let's get the fruit and vegetables that we can get from there. And that's done. Mm-hmm. And you helped me put it in the car.
And what did I say?
You said, I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that. There's a reason I don't go. You need to get some sleep.
You don't have to tell me. She wanted to go to Costco to get this stuff.
This is what he said. And now y'all know, when you go to the Costco.
She's with my mother. Everything is the.
When you go to the Costco, you cannot just go in there and buy what you went for. Like, it's just not how it works.
But you gave me your word. I said, when we pulled in, I said, we're not shopping. We're going to get what you have on this list, and I'm getting out of here because I don't want to be here.
And listen, we went in, we got fruit, we got vegetable, and he likes these real Cokes in a bottle. And they
Mexican
have them.
Cokes.
They have. Did we get anything else?
I don't know what all you got.
No. Did I shop throughout that store? No. So I
We got
stayed true to my word.
We got the Cokes and then all the fruit and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we bought pillows.
But that was something you wanted. That wasn't
we were
something
walking
I
by
wanted.
it.
Okay, but that wasn't something. So I did what.
And then I tried to get
idea.
you to buy me a juicer there. And she said, you don't
It
need
wasn't a juicer. It
I'm
was
sorry,
a
it was
slushy.
Yeah, I thought the kids would like that, to be able to make slushies.
We right now do not need another kitchen appliance in our kitchen. When we get moved and I have a pantry that will accommodate all these different appliances, then we'll get one. But we don't need one right now.
So my kids are not going to have the slushies.
No.
So
His kids, he's got one that's a child. The rest are adults.
but they all still act like children.
Well, whatever.
But so my whole thing was I just did not want to be out in public, having to do pictures, having to do all that mess that goes along with it.
And it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but folks, this tells you about how much
Go ahead.
this one right here
Go ahead.
shops.
Go ahead.
So if you've never been to Costco, which I doubt there's anybody that's not.
There's a lot of people don't go to Costco because they don't have a Costco near where they live.
Oh, well, if you have not been to a Costco, it's this huge warehouse kind of place, and they're lined up to get in. And so these people, you have to show your card. And so these people run up and they say, "Oh my God, Mr. Chrisley, can I get a picture with you?" And I said, "Yes."
That was kind of a bad sign because we had not even scanned our card yet. And I was like, this is not going to go well. He's going to leave me in this store.
And I never say no. I never say, do I ever say no?
No, you don't.
And so I said, yes, that will be fine. So I let the people take their pictures. And as we're getting up to the thing for Julie to do her card, the woman looks, so she goes, "Oh my God, Mr. Chrisley, I've never seen you in here before. I see her all the time."
Yeah, because I'm the one that does all the work. That's why.
And I looked at, I turned to those people and I said, she's the one that's wasteful in our family. But so we are on this juice thing now.
Yeah.
And I have carrot juice in my Stanley right now.
Yeah.
I have not had one of my Mexican Cokes since I bought them.
That's
So
good.
That's 2 days now.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's
good
2
for
days.
you.
So I've
yeah.
not had any Coke.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I feel any better. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm better if I have Coke
I
in
know.
my system.
It's like a mental thing. I'm like, yeah.
So you and Savannah, they juiced for hours.
Yeah, look at my finger. Look at my finger. I cut my finger.
That too?
Yeah, it was bad. It was blood. It was awful.
But so they juiced for hours, and there was so much produce that I felt like I was driving a produce truck when I left Costco.
But really, it doesn't make that much. I mean, if you think about how much we juiced and how much product we ended up with, it's really not a lot.
You ended up with those big, I've never even seen
yes,
mason jars.
I got, because we were doing, like, Savannah has these cool little glass jars, and I just have like mason jars. Well, I was like, but we don't really need that. And it just takes up space in the refrigerator. So I got 1/2 gallon mason jars with lids on them. And that's what we used. And it's perfect.
Yeah, because I mean, I drank an entire one of those yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good. I mean, and that's a little tip, because if you don't have a lot of room in your refrigerator, you can just put it in those 1/2 gallons and then just put it in a cup when you get ready to drink it.
Yes, because she doesn't have any room in her refrigerator. She has multiple refrigerators, but yet she's always out of room.
Because you keep,
What?
don't you like me to keep the refrigerator stocked?
Well, I do, but I mean, you just always are complaining about you're running out of space. You're running out of space.
Well, I do, because then when I cook something, then I got leftovers, which nobody really eats. And so but then sometimes they do eat leftovers. So it's just a constant battle.
So we've gone through that. You're now starting to work out because we had the blood work done. Yeah.
And I'll let you know what I decide on my workout routine, but it's not going to be with him and Chase on a regular basis.
But my blood work was so good. She informed me last night that in a very snarky way, and I want you guys to send in messages about how you would feel about this. Well, you're probably going to live to be 100. Like that was a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
But you always, if my numbers are different than your numbers, you always are like, you're going to outlive me.
Well,
You're gonna outlive
you
me.
will, and that's okay. That's okay. You will, because you just have better genetics than I do.
But who's going to take care of me? You're not leaving. You're not leaving your job until I'm gone. So that means you got to live longer than I do. So this morning you came in the bathroom and you said you were on this whole thing about she's so fixated now with what's going on with David and Victoria Beckham and their son.
Yeah, it's getting sticky. It's
But
like
fill me in. I don't on all
okay,
this stuff.
so their son. Let me just get my phone out right here, because
Let her put her focus on so she can see who she's talking to.
Let me get my focus on. This episode is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com offers a wide array of hotels and vacation rentals across the U.S., so you can find exactly what you're booking for. There's something for everyone, even those who are impossible to please. Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your picky teens, your sleep light, rise early mom, or your high maintenance group chat, you can find exactly what you're booking for. You all know that I have lots of high maintenance people in my family, from my kids to my husband. I mean, it's off the chain. And if we can find our perfect stay on Booking.com, anybody can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. A new season means fresh routines, small resets, and recommitting to the things that make you feel your best. And with iRestore President's Day sale happening right now, it's honestly the perfect time to upgrade your hair and skincare game with the iRestore Elite and Illumina Face Mask Bundle. You've probably heard about iRestore and its clinical grade technology for both hair and skin, all from the comfort of your home. The iRestore Elite is the most advanced laser hair growth system using 300 lasers and 200 LEDs to help regrow thicker, healthier hair in as little as 3 months. It's effortless. Just wear it while working, reading, or unwinding at night. And you guys know I have talked a little bit about my hair journey since I came home, and it has been quite the journey. And the iRestore Elite has helped me so much because my hair was just in such bad shape. And Todd absolutely loves the Illumina face mask. He is all about all things beauty. We all know. And here's the best part. Right now, you can bundle and save when you grab both. So if you're refreshing your routine or finally giving your hair and skin the attention they deserve, the iRestore Elite and Illumina Face Mask Bundle is the perfect way to elevate your routine. iRestore is kicking off their President's Day sale with some big savings. And right now, you can get the Elite plus Illumina Face Mask Bundle at an exclusive deal when you use code Chrisley at iRestore.com. That's Chrisley at iRestore.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Give your hair and skin the upgrade they deserve so you can feel confident and refreshed. You know, there's been this estrangement with David and Victoria Beckham and their son Brooklyn and his wife, I don't know her name, Nicole, something like that.
Who comes from a lot of money.
Yes, she comes from a very wealthy family, but that's neither here nor there.
It is, because if he's showing his ass with his family who has a lot of money, he's not going to do that unless the family that he's adopted into now has got a lot of money.
Well, and they do. They do. I think from what I've read, and folks, I do not know these people. I am just like everybody else. I just read whatever's out there. I have read that her family has significantly more wealth than the Beckhams do. Like, it's significantly more.
Yes, but David is now a member of, he is royalty now.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you.
He's been knighted or something.
Okay, well, I'm sure it's just not like he's making any more money.
And I bet his father-in-law cannot bend it like Beckham.
Well, whatever. But, so there's been this rift, and I feel like it's been going on since they got married. Which he's now come out, the son, Brooklyn, and says that, you know, like his parents tried to sabotage his relationship from the very beginning. And, you know, there was a lot of controversy because she did not wear a Victoria Beckham dress.
Right.
Well, he says, let me just do this, because my friend actually posted something too, and I just like screenshotted it because I thought we might need it.
Why do we need it?
So this was Brooklyn's statement, okay? My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making, it's Nicola. Nicola?
Right.
Yeah. Her dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. I'm not sure what all that means. Okay. But then this was a previous post that was put out. It says her last name is Peltz. Peltz custom wedding look is the culmination of a year's worth of conversation with Valentino creative director, whatever his name is, 2 trips to Rome headquarters and 2 U.S. fittings.
Well, if that's true,
how is it what do you constitute 11th hour? Because I would say 11th hour is if
they bailed on.
You went all the way up to the end, and then Victoria said, I'm not doing the dress right before the wedding. But if you've been working with a designer of a year's worth of conversations, 2 trips to Rome, 2 U.S. fittings, the head seamstresses even journeyed to Miami to make sure every detail was immaculate on the big day. It was the ultimate couture experience. So how was it that Victoria bailed? Because it seems as though she was working with this Valentino designer for over a year.
Well,
so that doesn't make sense to me. Because
not that we would have any experience with this kind of situation. But
there's 3 sides to every story. Right. Most of the time, there's his, there's hers, and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Well, here's how I feel about it. And I know nothing about it other than what you tell me.
Right.
His name is Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Brooklyn has led a very privileged life due to his mother and his father.
Yes.
And
you know, I watched her documentary because now I am a Posh fan.
Yeah, she's a Spice Girl. I loved all of them.
So I watched that documentary and I loved that documentary. And she was very vulnerable in her documentary, talking about how it was such a struggle, and David had to loan her money to continue with her dream, but how so many things that she tried didn't work, like she didn't have this attitude that like, okay, I'm perfect and I did this, I've done this amazing, had this amazing business. She was very vulnerable with what she said. And I like that, and I mean, she just seems so real.
So whose side are we on? Are we on David and Victoria's or are we on Brooklyn? We're on David and Victoria's?
I am.
Okay. Well, if she's on that side, I have to be on that side too.
But then I read somewhere, I don't know, it was one of the magazines. I think it was People magazine, where he said that, Brooklyn again, said that his mother interrupted his and his bride's dance, and that his mother was dancing very inappropriately with him.
Now, see, I'm going to tell you something.
And that just seems weird.
And that's shock, but it's shock value. Yeah. And that sounds like someone who is an entitled child who did not get his way and whose parents have stood their ground.
Yeah.
So are Victoria and David saying anything?
Well, I haven't seen, let me see if there's been anything.
Because if they're not saying anything, then I'm going to tend to agree with you because it's got to be hurtful.
It's got to be what?
It's got to be hurtful for them.
Absolutely.
These kids need to learn to shut the hell up. You've been given everything money can buy. Everything you have comes from the fact that you're a member of the Lucky Sperm Club. And then when your parents tell you, we're not going to do something, then you're going to show your ass.
Oh, okay. So David Beckham, actually, this just came out, what's today? Like 3 hours ago. David Beckham breaks his silence after son Brooklyn's shocking Instagram post. It says his kids have made mistakes on social media. David's comments came during a discussion about social media on CNBC's financial program Squawk Box, a day after Brooklyn's explosive statement accusing his parents of trying to ruin his relationship with Nicola Peltz Beckham. David has broken his silence. The day after Brooklyn accused his dad and mom of trying to ruin his relationship, David said that his kids had made mistakes on social media during his appearance on the Squawk Box. He also said, "But children are allowed to make mistakes. That is how they learn. That is what I try to teach my kids. You sometimes have to let them make those mistakes as well."
Now, see, folks, that is a parent.
So even though Brooklyn's, trashed him, that was his response.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. "I have always spoken about social media and the power of social media for the good and for the bad," David began. "The bad we've talked about with what kids can access these days, it can be dangerous. What I've found personally, especially with my kids as well, use it for the right reasons."
Right.
So he didn't go back and say,
he took the high road.
He
took the high road, which is, something that I should have done. But at the end of the day, it comes across to me like Brooklyn's just acting like a petulant child. And dude, you're not worrying about rent. You're not worrying about a car payment. You're not worrying about, where your next meal's coming from. Be grateful for what you came from and what you've married into. Stop saying things back to your parents that's going to hurt them, because once that damage is done, it's almost hard and impossible to correct.
Right. Okay, well, this is what he says, Brooklyn. "I do not," and this was in quotes now, "I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life," he added. Brooklyn then went on to describe several moments in which he claims his family attempted to sabotage his and Nicola's relationship, including during their wedding in Palm Beach and at his father's 50th birthday party. He says they never wanted it. They just wanted to quietly live their lives and be married. Okay, whatever.
But yet you're telling all this shit. That's the same thing that I've addressed before. If you don't want noise, stop making noise.
Right.
And no, I am firmly in Bend It Like Beckham's court and Victoria's. And you and Savannah are connoisseurs of Victoria's brand.
Yeah. Quince is all about elevated essentials that feel effortless, designed for layering and mixing. Each piece helps build a timeless wardrobe made to last. With versatile silhouettes and thoughtful details, they're the kind of style you wear over and over again. I am actually in love with my alpaca wool stand collar coat that I ordered from Quince. And here in Nashville, the weather has been so cold, so I can be warm and stylish all at the same time. They've got the wardrobe staples with quality that's made to last. 100% organic cotton sweaters, premium denim made with stretch for all-day comfort, luxe cotton cashmere blends perfect for the changing season. Everything you need for a wardrobe that actually lasts. Quince works directly with safe, ethical factories and cuts out the middlemen, so you're not paying for brand markup, just high-quality clothing. Quince uses the highest quality materials like 100% European linen and organic cotton. Everything is built to hold up season after season. The stitching, the fit, the fabric. These are pieces you'll reach for over and over. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Chrisley for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Chrisley to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Chrisley. Okay, so I've loved makeup for as long as I can remember, and it's a trait that I have passed down to my daughter. We absolutely love makeup of all kinds, but I do hate the heavy caked on look. And I don't like it to take too long for me to apply my makeup on an everyday basis. Let's face it, when there's so many products, you just get bogged down with choosing what's the best thing. So that's why I am obsessed with Jones Road Beauty Miracle Balm. It actually enhances your skin instead of masking it with layers of makeup. It gives you the effortless, natural look that you're looking for. It's the ultimate no-fuss multitasker. It gives you your skin but better glow in under 60 seconds. The best part of Jones Road Beauty, all their products are actually good for your skin. Every formula is packed with skin-loving ingredients. It nourishes your skin instead of clogging or caking. It looks and feels natural, like you're not even wearing makeup at all. Modern day makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional for effortless routine. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a free shimmer face oil on their first purchase when they use code Chrisley at checkout. So just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use code Chrisley at checkout. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you. Okay, I want to take a minute to share something really important to me, and that's Good Girl RX, a female-focused health and wellness company created by my daughter, Savannah. As women, we so often put everyone else first and ignore our own health, or we're just told to push through instead of being truly listened to. What I love about Good Girl RX is that it's built around real medical care and compassion. Through their telehealth platform, women can meet virtually with licensed medical providers who take the time to review your health history and goals. If it's clinically appropriate, your provider may discuss personalized treatment options, including GLP-1 medications like tirzepatide, as well as wellness therapies such as NAD. Everything is determined by a doctor and tailored to the individual. As a mother, it means everything to me that this company was created to help women feel supported instead of judged. Everyone's journey is different. Results vary, and not everyone qualifies, but having access to licensed physicians who truly listen can make all the difference. If you're ready to take a step toward prioritizing your health, visit goodgirlrx.com and use code CONFESSIONS15 for 15% off at checkout. Medical care is provided by licensed physicians. It's really sad, but it just goes to show you that every family has their crap. Every family has their issues that they have to deal with. And unfortunately, theirs is just super, super public. And we just know a little tiny bit of that compared to
But
David
yet they're
and
not
Victoria
having
Beckham.
trouble with these other two children.
Right, but the others aren't married.
No, but if they certainly have the ability to have a voice at
They
social
do,
media.
but... And I feel like this just sometimes happens. And especially because my sons aren't married yet. So I don't know that side of how a relationship changes. But I have several friends, two in particular that I talk to on a regular basis that have daughter-in-laws. Mm-hmm. And those daughter-in-laws are always in the ear of their husband.
But see that
which makes it difficult sometimes to have relationship with your mom or whatever because that this is who they're laying down with.
You never did that.
No,
you never did that.
No, I never did that. And I don't know. And I guess maybe it's a generational thing. I always thought, I love you so much and I want you to know that I love you, but I also love your parents. And I thought that was a way of being respectful to you as well. I mean, in the beginning it was, but then I grew to love them, so much.
Right.
So I just think there's that. I think a lot of it stems from insecurities. I think there's a lot of women, especially younger women out here, that they're so insecure, whether it's they're insecure of their mother-in-law because they can't cook like her, or they can't clean a house like her. Or
they don't have what she has.
Or they don't have what she has, And so I just feel like I've just seen it. I've seen it with several different friends that daughter-in-law is just in that ear all the time.
I won't put up no shit like that.
And, it causes some issues. So I don't know if that's the reason that he's the only one, because he's the only one. And you got to understand, he grew up uber wealthy. Mm-hmm. She grew up even more.
Right.
wealthy. So you got two entitled kids that have probably always gotten their way, that have always, whatever. I don't know. I will have to see more evidence for me to sway to the other side. I'm not. I'm with the parents.
We are Victoria and David.
Yes, we are with Victoria and David right now.
Not that we have anything against Brooklyn, because we don't know Brooklyn.
No, we don't know this whole situation. No. This is just from what we are seeing.
Now, what you're seeing.
Social
media. My impression from you.
Social media, various magazines, things like that. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it has to play out.
I don't think that there's any good to come from, and these are lessons learned the hard way. There is no good to come from parents and children airing their dirty laundry.
Right. And this is your mom and your dad. And I do think there's just this respect that these younger generations don't have.
Nope.
They don't have a respect for their elders. Take out your mom and dad. It's just for your elders in general.
I'm your elder now.
You just don't.
You don't respect me.
You just don't. There's just certain things you don't say. There's just certain things you don't do. And then there's certain things that you do. Mm-hmm. You should always get in there and help. You should always try to be helpful. But kids
and you
today,
know yourself, we ain't never had one that has, none of our kids have ever brought anyone that was worth a shit when it came to doing their part or coming in and helping you cook or clean up or whatever, except Nick. Nick was the only one that would do anything. He was in that sink washing dishes as soon as he walked in.
Right. That's true. So I just think there's just this breakdown, and I don't know if it's because now people want to do this, what do they call it? Something parenting.
Soft parenting.
It's not soft gentle parenting.
To hell with that.
All this, So I do think that there's a lot of that but to me, if you say I'm going to gentle parent and basically let my kid do whatever he wants to do, then don't sit here and cry to me when they out here acting like a crackhead.
Well,
and I know that being a strict parent doesn't make you immune to it either, because our children were not raised around violence. They were not raised around alcohol. They were not raised around drugs. We never had it in our home. Mm-hmm. Our kids they didn't see us have alcohol at a table.
They never saw us fight.
Ever. And so so it doesn't make you immune to it. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, my God, if we had been a gentle parent, where the heck would ours have been?
Right, exactly. And I was getting ready to say, think about it. This generation that is so weak right now is the ones where they started doing timeouts with.
Yeah.
I didn't have time for you to have no timeout.
Yeah, let's talk.
I had time to bust your ass, get in the car and let's go. I got 50 other things I got to do today, and me sitting here letting you have a temper tantrum is not going to be one of them. I didn't sign up for this shit show today. Get your ass in the car and let's go.
Right. And you know what? As much as our kids, and I can really speak for Chase and Savannah, because those are the ones I've had the conversations with. Now that they are approaching 30, they're like, oh my God, I am so glad that y'all made us sit at a table and y'all made us have manners and y'all wouldn't put up with us acting out in public or they're like, I'm so grateful. And when they see other kids, like now when they see kids are doing, they're like, as Savannah especially, she's like,
my kids are not
going to act like that.
That's right.
No. So it's kind of like what the Bible says. You might go away from what you were raised with, but you eventually come back to it.
That's right.
And so I'm not going to apologize to it, because no. I mean, heck, if we would have been a gentle parent, some of ours would have been in the electric chair by now. I'm just saying.
We're not, that's not something that we're doing. I mean, even with grandkids coming up, at the end of the day, if you want me to keep your child, I'd love to. But your child ain't coming in my house and tearing everything up. They're not shitting in the middle of the floor.
Right.
They're not pulling shit out of the refrigerators.
Right.
They're going to be raised the same way that you were raised.
Right.
Now, probably they will get away with more with me because I just don't really care about the rugs and shit anymore.
Yeah.
And they're my grandbabies. But my grandchildren are going to have proper manners. They're going to be able to go out to the club and have lunch and not have people sending text messages. Oh my God, the Chrisleys were in the club today, and they're Savannah's kids. He had them with them, and oh my God, food was all over the floor.
Yeah,
no,
we're not doing that.
That ain't never happening.
No.
Chase,
we didn't do that.
Todd brought Chase's son over to the club today, and he was just running through the place and blah, blah.
No.
Whipped his Peter out and pissed in the floor.
No, I remember years and years ago. This was way before Grayson, so all the other kids were at home. And I remember we were in New York, and we went to a really nice restaurant, and we had all four, Lindsay, Kyle, Chase, Savannah. And I remember we walked into that restaurant, and people were like, you could just see it. They were like,
the whole mood changed.
Yeah, they were like looking around. And do you remember this? At the end of the meal,
the people came up.
People came up to us, and they said, we just want to say thank you. Like we're not going to lie. When y'all walked in with four kids, we were like, oh my gosh, our dinner is over. Mm-hmm. But your children were so well-mannered.
Yep.
And we just want to thank you for that. I take that as a compliment.
Think about the manager at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yes.
We would go into the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I'd be there on business for sometimes a week, 10 days. Mm-hmm. And we stayed at the Beverly Hills Hotel. That manager would always come and say, Mr. Chrisley, it's so good to have y'all back. How are the kids? Mm-hmm. And we'd get ready to leave, and they'd say, we're going to miss y'all. Yeah. Your kids are the most well-behaved children.
Because kids would go down to the soda shop and get their whatever they were going to eat, whatever. But they still had manners.
Yes. So. And, but that goes back to when we moved to L.A. and the kids, Savannah and Chase, went to the Brentwood School. Mm-hmm. When we got ready to leave, that principal said, I really wish y'all would not leave because your children have had such an impact on this school.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy, but.
So, I mean,
no, we're not
doing a gentle parenting. No. I can tell you now, if I'm not going to walk from my kitchen up 3 flights of stairs to tell you it's time for dinner. Chase, it's time for dinner. That works, does it not?
Yeah.
It's always worked for us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in there and rub your back and say, sweetie, Mom fixed dinner. But what is she going to have? Well, you're having lasagna. Dad, I don't want lasagna. I said, it'll be on the stove for you to eat later because you're going to eat it before it eats you.
Right.
You never did that. We didn't prepare separate meals.
I couldn't because, for so many, I had 4 kids at home at one time. Mm-hmm. So I would have just been a short order cook if I was cooking for everybody.
Exactly.
And I know that as they have all become adults, some of them have gotten a little quirky with what they eat, and some of them don't like this or don't like that. But for the most part, they're pretty good eaters. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's why, and like with Grayson is probably my most adventurous, my most... Yes. Just even when he was a child.
Yep. He wanted to try everything different.
He wanted salmon. He wanted this, which, yes, it was we were in a different, I'm not going to sit here and lie. We were in a position where he could order whatever he wanted. He didn't have to order off the kids' menu. Mm-hmm. But I do think he developed such a good palate from that. And he eats anything. I mean, most everything.
Yes.
He's a really good eater.
And, Chloe has gotten to where she has started eating more.
Yes.
Because like last night, you had made dinner last night. Mm-hmm. She didn't want that. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
I said, well, if you get hungry, I said, you'll eat what your mother made. Right. And then she comes creeping in there and she goes, Dad, what time is Mom going to be home?
Right.
I said, your mother went to dinner with her friend. Uh-huh. To get your skirts that she had hemmed. Uh-huh. Would you like for me to fix you a plate of what your mother fixed?
Yeah. Yeah, she has gotten better. And I have to admit, I'm much more relaxed. And we are.
But you let her get by. You let her get by with way more than you've ever let any of the rest of them get by with.
But you know what I think you have to understand? I'm old. Older.
You're not old. You're older.
I'm way older. And it is the first time. This is the first time in 30 years that I've only had one child in the house.
Mm-hmm. I know. And it's so quiet and it's so calm.
Yeah. I mean, because when we got married, we had Lindsay and Kyle. Chase came along right away. Because
she couldn't keep her hands off of
Then 14 months later, we had Savannah.
Couldn't keep her hands off of
Then by the time then we had Grayson, Lindsay was getting ready to leave to go to college. So it was like we were just having all these different sets of kids. And then here comes Chloe. So this is the first time that I've ever just had one child.
And
ever in my life.
And I used to say, listen, it doesn't matter if you've got 2 or 4. It's the same thing.
That's not true.
It's not true. Because Chloe, the house is so quiet. And literally she literally is like a perfect child. I mean, like she doesn't bother
Chase
you.
and Savannah, they argued all the time.
And Chase is like a cyclone. I would work 3 jobs to make sure Chase has his own house, because Chase literally can turn a room upside down faster than anybody in the history. It's like it's a paid job.
Yeah. But he and Savannah, they fought all the time. So the house was never quiet. Ever.
I know.
Ever.
But I miss that too.
Yeah. I mean, they fought like cats and dogs.
I can see Chase and Savannah running down that hallway at Heatherwood right now, is screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
I do miss those days.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. But Chloe's quiet. She just kind of does her own thing, and she's fine. So it's super easy. It's super easy. She doesn't whatever. She doesn't require
So
a lot.
now you and I I did a podcast with Ian Bick, and great kid. I want you to do his podcast, but super nice kid. He flew in from Connecticut to do the podcast with me, and he's gotten huge reception over that podcast. But when I was reading comments, so many people were saying he had it so easy. He wasn't in prison. I thought Savannah went out here and told that he was having all these horrific conditions, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, how do people don't listen.
Right.
They just choose to believe what they want to believe.
Right.
So let me go on record today and say again, for all of you out there that don't know how to listen and interpret what you're hearing, I said that I had it better than just about anyone that I was there with because I had access to more.
Right.
I had staff members that were willing to be paid to bring me food in. But I didn't just bring food in for me. I brought food in for people in my pod.
Right.
I stood up for the men that was there that was afraid to stand up for themselves. So the place was dirty. I was able to get someone to come in and mop our room every other day, wipe everything down. I paid to have extra sheets and stuff for our room so that we all had no odors in our room or whatever. Everything was clean. And you have these stupid ass people wanting to comment and saying, oh, he didn't have it bad at all. Try going and being away from your wife and your children and your mother and not being able to put your arms around them, not being able to sit down and have a meal with them. And then you'll have those that say, well, you did the crime, do the time.
Right.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did time for a crime I didn't do. But I don't give a shit if you believe it or not because
Right.
I owe you nothing.
Right.
But I want you to do Ian's podcast because he is such a good kid. He was in prison.
Right.
And he did such a great job with that podcast. So if you have not watched the podcast with me on Ian Bick's podcast,
Right.
it really is worth watching because he is such a good person, a good interviewer. Then I did a podcast with Jay.
Yes.
I just did that podcast today with Jay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
And he was funny. He said, yeah, we only live a mile from each other, and this is the first time I'm seeing you. But I'm not bitter. But so I told him that he made me promise. He said, Todd, please, I'm coming off tour in March. And I said, I'm in London. I says, but I'll be back, like in the middle of March. And I says, and we'll get together and we'll go to dinner. So just putting that on your radar. Right. And then you are leaving because he brought this up. I said, we're talking about how much stronger you are. I said, Julie was always strong. I said, but now I said, she makes the decision and she says, I'm not doing that. And she's not doing it.
Right.
And I says, and I love that. And I have such respect for that. But I realized in that interview that this will be the first time that you and I will have been away from each other since May the 28th.
Yeah.
And so I will be in, maybe it won't be as much if you come to London with me to shoot what I'm shooting and then go to do your thing. Mm-hmm. But if you don't do that, then I will be away from you from February the 23rd until you get back. What is
May
it?
28th. I mean, March 28th.
March 28th. Mm-hmm. So that's almost a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it will be.
So, and if you don't go to London with me, then I guess Chase will have to go and be my bodyguard.
Yeah. Well, that'll be okay, too.
Listen, anytime I can take one of
If
my
I have
kids,
to give my spot up, I'll give it up for him.
give it up to Chase or Grace.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Or Sav.
And Savannah will be with you.
Yeah,
though.
that's true.
So, how do you feel about going and doing this show with just you and Savannah?
I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous because that's a long time, and it's completely out of my wheelhouse, out of my comfort zone.
What she's filming is out of her comfort zone.
We filmed Chrisley Knows Best, but we were home every night other than just an occasional trip or whatever. We filmed at our house a lot.
Right.
So, having to pack for that long and having just to be prepared and being thrown in with other personalities. Like I know my crazies and I know how to deal with my crazies, but I don't, there's going to be other people.
I think you're going to have a good time.
So it'll be a something different, something to say I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and so speaking of out of our comfort zone, our Masked Singer was, we were revealed on Masked Singer since we recorded last.
Right.
And I've gotten so many messages that people loved it.
Such positive, kind messages that have come from this.
Right.
And that was, and we had a good time doing that.
Yes, we did.
We had a good time doing that.
We had a good time doing it. I am not a singer. I am not a singer at all. But I still had fun doing it.
You had a good time. We had a great time with each other.
The costumes were so cute. I still, every time,
She's like, every day, I wish we had our costumes forever.
The moment that I saw those costumes, I was like, I love them. They were so perfect. Because, I love a croissant. I love food. I thought, okay.
And it was so reminiscent of, because Nick was French and Nick was always like, I can make you crepes. I can make you crepes.
Yeah.
Although he only was successful in making crepes one time. He said, I can make you crepes.
Right.
Oh, do you want me to pick up some croissants?
I think him and his mom made them again. So I think it was twice.
Was it?
Yeah, I think there's 2 times. But still.
So that was a big tie-in for me with him.
But they were so cute, the costumes were, and it really was fun. I mean, it was a lot of work.
Yes.
It was a lot of work, but we had a great time. I did. I had a great time doing it with you.
And you have.
Because I know, really, folks, I'm being real honest here. He didn't want to do it with me.
That's not true.
He did not.
That's not
He
true.
did not. He wanted it to be separate. He did not want us to be a duo.
True.
Because, yes, he is a much better singer than I am. And I get that. So I appreciate him letting me be the ball and chain. So that ball and chain had way more meaning than what y'all thought it had. He really didn't want. No, you didn't. No, we're going to be honest here. You really
took
when
that.
it was first presented to us.
I didn't want us to be a duo because I wanted us to compete against each other.
Yeah, because he knew he would go further than me.
That's not
And
true.
He didn't want me bringing him down.
That's not true.
So,
I wanted us to compete against each other.
Yeah.
And they said, that's when they came back and said, no, we want you as a duo.
Right.
And I made a snarky comment. I'm like,
darn.
trying to be funny. And she's obviously she has taken this so serious.
Yeah.
So what else? And then you have your cooking segments that start in February.
Yeah, that's coming up quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
we got a busy next few months. It's going to really
We are
be
busy all the way until
a lot of change, a lot of new beginnings. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that I'm really grateful for.
I think that you are going to be in production on between the 3 things. I think that you will not come out of production until August.
That's okay. Because, I don't mind working.
No, you don't. And I love that.
I don't
And I
not
love
mind.
that I'm producing you. So that's a wonderful thing.
Oh,
We're
my
working
God.
together again, folks.
Have we stopped? You said again. I didn't know we'd
for
ever
28
stop.
months, we did not work together
Well,
because I
that's
had
true.
a phone and you didn't have one, so we couldn't work
that's
together.
True. That's so true.
But so I love that I'm going to actually be producing you.
Right.
And I'm very excited about that, being behind the camera and knowing how that's going to work.
Right.
And to visually conceptualize what I know in your heart you want it to be.
Yeah.
So
we got lots of vision boards. We got lots of clips. I got lots of folders on my phone of things that I want to do, and I'm excited to share with y'all. So even though I'm on this health journey, we're still going to have some good recipes.
Yes.
So
And
it's all about balance.
well, then again, it's always a blessing for me to be able to work with you, whether it's on Mass Singer, whether it's in foreign lands,
Or whether it's
here,
in the Costco getting fruit.
or whether it's in the Costco getting fruit,
Okay.
because I would not trade one day without you for a million days. I wouldn't trade. How is it? I would rather have one day with you than a million without you.
Oh, that's so sweet. All right, I love you.
So, all right.
All right.
So I love you. Thank you again for being here today with me. And not until next week, right?
Until next week.
Until next week. Until next week, folks, good luck and God bless.